So here we are on Suzanne Lenglen. It is the pick of the quarterfinals. Maria Sharapova, there's her route through. Beat Linetskaya, the 18-year-old, in a tough match, 6-4 in the third. Rezai, the French wildcard, big hitter, 3-2. And Chak Fadadze, 1-4, fellow Russian. And a good match against Llagostera Vives, 6-2, 6-3. And she's looked impressive. She's made a semi-final of clay once in her career coming into this event. And she feels as though, she says when asked about how she slides on the clay and feels on the clay, she says, well, as much as I suck at sliding, I enjoy the challenge, she says. I mean, I suppose that's an American slang, but it is her least favourite surface. But as a competitor, she's still going to be tough to beat.
Well, that's it. I think that's almost her main ingredient, is that fighting spirit, that quality that makes her shake her fist, not violently, but you get the message. And not only do you get the message, but so does the opponent.
So we had a preview pre this match with Matthias and Barbara. Here it is.
Eine ehemalige Siegerin, Justine Henin-Ardenne, gegen die noch amtierende Wimbledon-Siegerin Maria Sharapova. Auch vom direkten Vergleich her ausgeglichen.
Genau, in diesem Jahr, glaube ich, zweimal gegeneinander gespielt. 1-1 steht's, wobei das letzte Match Justine für sich entscheiden hat können in Berlin auf Sand. Wobei, ich muss ehrlich sagen, Justine hat mir noch nicht so
überzeugt. Well, Barbara basically saying that they've played a couple of times and it's 1-1.
Für Sharapova auf jeden Fall ist es gut, wenn es heiß ist. Das heißt, wenn die Plätze sehr, sehr hart sind, wie es ausgehen wird. Na klar, wir schauen es uns an.
It's a wonderful atmosphere that greets us.
And I think the last thing said there was that Sharapova likes it when it's particularly hot.
Thanks for that translation, Fru. Got me out of hot water.
Chris just busy shaving.
Yes. 6 feet, 1 meter 83, this 18-year-old. The Russian number one, of course. Seeded 2 here, world rank 2. It's her second quarter-final here in a row. She lost to Paula Suarez last year. And looking for her third major semi-final, of course, making it through to the semi-finals in Australia. She had that disappointment against Serena Williams, having had match points, served for the match twice, and was absolutely distraught afterwards, there's no question. The Dane in the chair. And against Justine Henin-Ardenne, she's had a tough tournament and route through, there's no question about that. She says that she's delighted to have got through that match against Kuznetsova, obviously in the last round, saving 2 match points. It was over 3 hours. The Belgian number one, seeded 10, world ranked 12, former world number one, of course, and the champion in 2003. Shocked the world last year, Sharapova, and herself as well, I think, after the quarterfinals here. Went on to win Wimbledon, of course, beating Serena Williams in the final. And I don't think there's a player that wants success more on the tour than this young woman. Let's hope we have a cracking quarter-final.
Henin won the spin of the coin, elected to receive.
Third match this year. They're 1-1 on wins.
And in many ways, not surprising she elected to receive. She lost her serve 6 times against Kuznetsova. Well, no doubt Henna, wishing she'd gone down the line, should have had a winner had she gone there. Totally committed to the shot. Sharapova knew that she didn't have to play it too hard as long as she controlled it and hit it deep.
She says that she has a bit of fun with sliding. I still haven't seen Sharapova slide on clay.
Yes, generally an essential quality. Those long strides, but not a good drop shot by Henna. The great Hopman, the Australian coach, used to say early drop shots means that you're feeling a little tired. In other words, you're doing to others what you don't want them to do to you. And I think, Chris, that match yesterday is a significant factor. Of course, there should really have been a day in between. You play a 3-hour match like that. Sharapova just had 3 games, in fact. And during the course of this tournament, they've worked out, the Hawkeye people, that Henna has run 84% more, covered 84% more distance, almost twice as much as Sharapova.
Good save from Love 15 for Sharapova. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, Fru? And there's been so much talk, of course, with Justine's health, the virus problem and so on. And the one thing that viruses love is fatigue.
Well, exactly. There's so many openings, it appears. I'm no expert, but I would just imagine it's a bit like feeling weak, and you get attacked by bugs that much more easily. And she was feeling her legs yesterday, Henna, in that match. Late in the match, signs of perhaps cramp coming on, certainly pain coming on into the thighs particularly, it seemed to me. Of course, that match then played on the Chatrier court. And there are a lot of ominous signs here in Henna's game, and Sharapova not missing. She needs some unforced errors from her opponents.
She never felt she was going to lose the match, she says, Justine, against Kuznetsova. I suppose it's easy to say that afterwards, but it kept her going, she says.
Well, those are sort of unforced errors that she'll be lapping up. That'll give her just a little bit of energy and, of course, give her a bit of breathing space. She certainly had that serene air about her all the match long, down 2 match points.
Superb little come on from Maria. She always looks to boss the shots.
Well, she hits the ball generally pretty flat. Here she just gives it that little bit of a loop, gives her that much more margin over that high part. Got down to it well, though. She really covered the shot so well.
very, very popular here. Many have made the journey from Belgium to support Justine. I still don't know how they get tickets. I remember when she did so well here, winning the title in 2003, semi-finalist 2 years prior to that. There were just enormous waves of Belgians in the crowd. Of course, it's a short journey, but how do they get the tickets when she's playing?
Quite. Not only her, but I noticed the other day with Melise and Rochus, the defending doubles champions, playing on an outside court. The whole court was full of Belgians. There wasn't a Frenchman in sight. There was a chap selling hot dogs at the side.
The crowd behaved themselves.
No.
Did they not?
I mean, they were very, very vocal. They won that match, the defending champions, but they have since lost.
She's talked a lot about the conditions for this match for Maria Sharapova, how important they are. I mean, today will suit her, won't they?
I would have thought so, although from what Matthias and Bob Rochette were talking about, it seemed she might even prefer it a bit hotter.
But certainly not damp and windy.
No. Of course, a bit more heat and the ball would travel just that much more quickly. There'd be less resistance. And a lot of the players spend their time in the sun, of course, but none perhaps more so than those who are American-based. Because with her height, 6 foot 1 meter 83, she does get that ball to bounce up quite high off the court. And we notice Henin there standing in quite close, even with a fairly long backswing on the backhand. She has that bit of timing to manage the shot somehow. There again, it's electric, isn't it? Well inside the court, takes the ball on the rise, using part of the Sharapova pace on the serve. I mean, this is the Federer of the women's game, and Federer is the Henin of the men's game.
That is absolutely brilliant. Pillar to post, Sharapova. She'll be delighted with that rally.
Yes, and perhaps another reason, even though I was saying it might have been a sign of feeling a little tired and a little weary playing the drop shot early on, but it did strike me that it may well be a ploy against Sharapova, because very often tall, leggy people don't move all that well forwards. They find side to side somehow. So if she can draw her in and break her game down a bit, she may use that shot a bit more. A late decision making there by Henin after the 3 virtually perfect points. If she was on top of the rally, she could well have got a break point.
It's a real battle, this game now, from 40 love. Like playing at home.
Well, she's lost 3 points when she's missed the first serve with Henin taking the ball early. Does that suggest to her that she needs to get more first serves in rather than be hurt on the second.
Well done.
Well, another venture to the net, and why not when you've forced your opponent wide. And also, of course, with Henin looking to shorten the points, Sharapova might feel that perhaps she's got to take to the net just a bit more than she does in her other matches. Try and take the net from Henin.
Wow. Well, it's a super finish to the game, but it was a struggle. It's Michael Joyce on the left there, hitting partner to Sharapova. It's 2-1. Welcome back live to day 9, principally women's quarter-finals day. 2 men's will be played today as well, of course. Federer against Hanescu and Nadal against Ferrer. We'll be focusing most of our attention on the women, though. Justine Henin-Ardenne 1-2 in the first set against Maria Sharapova. It's brilliant. It's just carrying on the mood of where she felt she needed to go in the last game through.
Yes, and by going into the net quite as much as she's doing, of course, she's always leaning into the shots, which tends to make them that much harder. And she's getting good length with the approach, forcing Henin back. It's an almost ideal day for tennis. The temperature fresh. Not as warm as it was a few days back. The wind is far less, still a slight west wind, but it's more of a breeze than a wind. So really nothing to upset these players, other than perhaps Henin's long match yesterday.
She said again in the press yesterday that she felt that Kuznetsova was very nervous for the match point, so she let her play a little, as opposed to gambling and maybe going for it herself. That's an interesting comment. That's dicing with going out, principally. She got away with it, though. She did get tight, Kuznetsova. She read it well yesterday, and this is going to be a very intriguing battle in terms of what they feel that's coming from the other side of the net and how they look to counter it. Nadal, he's unbelievable at that. Already.
Second service.
Two pretty comfortable games on serve for the Belgian, certainly by comparison to Sharapova's last.
Well, a couple of untidy backhands really by Sharapova. The one low bounce in the middle of the court, that's really one of her shortcomings. She's not as complete a player as Henin. She really couldn't handle that, didn't know what to do. And then a very untidy, unforced error again from the back of the court. But she pulls herself together so well.
Good umpiring, very quickly out the chair, Christina Olausson.
Is she going to give it as an ace, or
first serve again?
She's maintaining. Sharapova might think, well, you know, could Henin have got to the ball? The umpire's judgment is that she was put off by the call. Now, had there been a French player playing here, this crowd would have gone berserk.
We'd have had a 10-minute break in play, wouldn't we?
All except the Belgians, of course.
was extraordinary the other night with Grosjean.
So perhaps justice done.
Oh. Well, it's a trademark. It's a stunner.
Well, Sharapova playing a couple of good backhands at least. That would be reassuring after the previous game. Looking to play the angle. Doesn't quite get the angle I'm sure that she would have liked. And of course, once Henin can get to this ball comfortably, she's got the ability to hit down the line or to wrong foot Sharapova. And she's got the skills on that single-handed backhand.
It's a lovely slide into that backhand as well, wasn't it, Fru? Contrasting to Sharapova's hard court footwork. Carlos Rodriguez, coach now to Justine since she was 14 years of age. It's a phenomenal help in the off time and support, of course. Magnificent. Pierre-Yves, Justine's husband, some drop shot.
It was, because she gave it a lot of air, but she's got both side spin and backspin on this. You can see the way it bounces well inside the court, and then when it ends up on the second bounce, it's going to land in the tram lines. Cuts inside it. Really skillful, because she was a long way back, and Sharapova really struggled to get off the mark. And of course, part of the essence of playing the drop shot that she's played now a few times is the fact that Sharapova might be looking for it, and then Henin can mix it up.
First break point of the set. First time lucky. Super return. Wide, cross court, stretching the double-hander. And no prizes for guessing what the crowd think about the first break for their Belgian number one. Justine Henin-Arden. Her nose in front, got the break. It's 3-2 in the opening set.
Merci. Prenez place.
Some amazing noises coming from Sharapova there, but super drop again.
Yeah, she sounds like a young filly, doesn't she? Perhaps she's put a silencer on her grunt. Certainly silenced some of the critics here with this drop shot a la Henin. Can learn from your opponent.
up.
So 10 double faults yesterday, Henin. I know it was a long match with many service games, but it wasn't her strength.
Yeah, she's carrying a back injury. She has been for a few weeks, and it's certainly a problem.
Going out.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it might have been going out. Sharapova now wandering. Just didn't have enough power on the volley. Yeah, definitely going out.
She's talked a lot about the last meeting between these two in Berlin, where Justine won 2 and 4, about how well she played the match. When asked about, well, how are you going to play the match against Sharapova, she wouldn't give anything away, but she said, I know exactly how I planned it. I lost to her earlier on in the year. It's her last and only loss of her comeback in Miami against Sharapova. She's won 21 in a row since then, Justine. The first 5 games or so, it's all about who bosses better. She's got to prevent that.
It was only in the previous point at the end of it that she looked a little tired again. I certainly thought she looked at the beginning of the match, struggling to get rid of those cobwebs, Hannah. But she mainly looks to have overcome it. And that was certainly vigorous, wasn't it? Sign of a champion, of course, how to play these big points. Break point down, rips a backhand, and then the forehand. Just basing the power on that right leg, anchoring it, and then the thrust forward. Like a rocket taking off.
She didn't just look to get the ball in play on the big points then, did she, as she says she did against Kuznetsova yesterday. For that reason, she knows that Sharapova will be all guns blazing, and so often she makes them. That's a stunning shot.
Yes, and I'm inclined to say really that for most of the match Henin was really looking to play her role positively against Kuznetsova.
Break apiece. It's 3 games apiece in the first set. Michael Joyce, the hitting partner for Maria Sharapova. Our position is on the Chatrier court, and I haven't seen, on all the camera shots you've had through, I haven't seen Yuri, her father. He's normally sitting right next to Michael Joyce, but Three-all.
It's interesting that Henin should lose her serve from this the southern end of the court, because yesterday she lost her serve 5 times on this end, only once on the far end. Of course, in very different conditions. It was very windy yesterday. But coincidence? Well, may not be. Theoretically, you'd think this was the slightly more difficult end to serve from because of the sun catching the eye of the server.
First double of the match.
It's not bursting at the seams. Neither of the courts is today.
It's a fierce point from the pair of them. They're hard at it, aren't they?
Yes, making all the room. I mean, she's got one of the best backhands perhaps of all time, but she can still hit with more power on the forehand, so that if she has the option, she'll try and finish with the forehand, even if it's over on that backhand side. Just taking a look at the mark made by the serve.
Break point for the third break of serve in a row. A bit late on that one. $10,000. The capacity, the official capacity, 10,018. Well done.
Well, it's a full-blooded scream and a full-blooded drive, really. This doesn't land in by all that much. But she just didn't hold back at all. And, of course, once you decide to commit, you've got to go through with it. Of course, maybe a bit more pressure put on the second serve because of the fact that Henin is so adept at taking the ball early and attacking that second serve, so she feels she's got to hit a better one.
Second break point. That's unlucky. It's clever positioning from Henin Arden there. Maybe wants it checked. Just asking and getting confirmed from the chair umpire that it was long.
Yes, the benefits of the defensive shot here, which she has and plays so well, the slice, gives her a bit of time. She clears the net by a lot so that she can get back to the middle of the court.
There's Yuri. Oof. A little bit off the frame, but it found its mark. The intent was there.
Yes, just staying with the shot long enough to control it enough.
For how good the backhand is through, but at times it can get just a little tiny bit iffy.
Yes,
she gets a little nervous.
There's certainly an unforced error there. Looked, there was a heaviness about her shot too. But what a good second serve that was by Sharapova. Now she played the slice second serve. Let's see if she does that here. I would doubt it somehow.
Yeah, it was long.
Avantage, Madame Nadem.
Well, she did play the slice. But going for the middle of the court, can understand why. She served the 2 doubles in the game already.
Another chance to break for the 22-year-old. Well, the crowd have really got to behave here. It is a break. It's 4-3, first set. Welcome back. 4-3, Anna Naden. She's a break up again in the set. No complaint from Sharapova to the chair umpire, but one of her shots was going to be perilously close to the line, and the crowd was shouting out. Justine got it back. Sharapova missed the next ball. I just feel it's out of order. And it always happens here at the French. 2 or 3 times in the tournament to leave a sour taste. Your views, Fru?
Yes, I'm not a fan of the French crowd, really, when relating them to crowds at the other majors. But I think in their defence, probably the Belgians here that were calling the ball rather than the French. There is a huge band of Belgian support for Hannah.
Oh, that's clever. Wow, what a volley.
And she stooped low to conquer too, didn't she? I mean, it was near to the ground. She may have found some difficulty bending down, this tall woman. Just getting inside it, drifting the ball away from Hannah. That gives it that much more control. So are we going to see a 4th break in a row?
She has played doubles in her career, Sharapova, not prolifically, but I wonder whether we'll see more of that to develop skills when she needs to come in and so on. I mean, the backhand volley there, you'd say it doesn't need to, but it's terrific footwork from Justine. No sign of looking for the backhand and skipping around it to look for the forehand.
Good use of the new balls too. First serve in through the line. Sharapova actually did well to recover and to make the reply because it skidded through the line. And the new ball is probably just propelling that a little more distantly than she would have liked. The older ones, that might well have gone in.
We have 6 balls in play.
Yeah. Just one at a time there.
Yeah. She's mixing it up well, Justine, isn't she? We see a backhand go long and a forehand go long, varying the pace and spins, as Fru's been saying. The game away from the opening set.
I had a feeling when I said at love 30 that there might be 4 breaks in a row. That would put the kibosh on it, and in fact would not be a break. Yeah. Much relief for the Belgians.
A serve and volley there. She's got a very aggressive second serve, Sharapova. Well, Pete Sampras, of course, coached by Robert Lansdorp, times in her career.
Yes, I think she's making an error here, though. I think she really needs a good percentage of first serve. She's not really winning many points with the big first serve. She hasn't hit an ace yet. Well, 6 points in a row suddenly for Hannah. Sharapova really looking a little leg weary there. It's not really weariness of leg, of course, it's the mind just taking a little bit of a battering at the moment. Not able to hold the serve. She's lost the last two, and she's down on this now. Hannah just standing back off that a bit. She looked to attack it, but in fact it was a lot shorter than she might have anticipated, and tried to sort of stretch to the ball, not moving the feet. She needed to move in a good meter more towards the ball.
Surely she's got to look to use the forehand now off that kicker serve.
Yes, well, perhaps take it a little earlier. Notice how far forward Sharapova bounces the ball. That's to encourage her to lean into the serve. Throw the ball up into the court so that her weight's going forward into the shot.
Had a chance there, Henin Arden.
Yes, father looking intense. Well, it's such an important point, this, of course. Could well be yet a set saver. Those long arms, 1.83 m. How far up did she have to stretch off the ground as well? It was a good effort by Henin. Yes, she was always going to struggle here once Henin got the sharp angle at quite a pace, and you can see she's just not getting her footwork quite right. So she really had to, at the end of her run, Sharapova, slap at the ball just in hope. It would have been a miracle had it gone in.
It tied a bit on the bounce, didn't it?
It was a shocker.
Sharapova holds. She forces the number 10 seed to serve out the first set. And you'll be able to see that after a short commercial break. It's 5-4 for the 22-year-old. Good timing. 46 minutes they've been playing. Justine Henin-Ardenne serving for the first set at 5-4.
Well, she's won 10 points on the Henin serve, including, of course, the one break of serve. Henin losing her serve from the same end. And that's as hard a serve as she hits. She tends to hit the serve a bit harder than her opponent. At about the 185 at her fastest, 115 miles an hour. And there was an opportunity.
Three set points for the former world number one. If you're going to serve a double, 40 love is not a bad time.
Rather not on set point there. 10 yesterday, and that's her first today.
Yep. Missed it. And alley from Justine Henin-Ardenne. Carlos Rodriguez. Just a smile. Half job done for Justine. 6 games to 4. The crowd delighted. Sharapova's got her work cut out, though, to make that happen. Justine, who looks so buoyed and confident after that result against Kuznetsova yesterday. It's going to be tough to break down. Sharapova to get us underway at the start of the second. Of course, Kuznetsova lost to Miskina last year in the 4th round, having had match point. And we know what happened to Miskina here last year. She's a great competitor, though, Sharapova. Justine will have to win it, that's for sure.
Yes, and this is where her competitiveness has really got to be revealed on these second serve points, because in the first set, I think it was, I don't know, it could only have been 20-odd% points won on second serve. Henin was winning the vast majority of them. She's got to up that into the 50s at least. And of course, one of the reasons for her losing as many points is that she's just making more unforced errors, as here. It's a straightforward shot, just not getting under it quite enough. You can see she's pretty upright. And part of her problem might be worrying about the next shot from Henin, who's got power on both wings. In other words, trying to play this shot and then getting back to the middle of the court at the same time, and that's fatal, because what it means is you don't totally commit to the shot. She doesn't have the variety of Henin, so she can't really mix it up as much as the Belgian can. So her hope really, and there's the indication, 6 of 19 points won on second serve. That's just what I was saying. Her only hope really is to hit the ball hard and hit it in.
I thought she'd made it when she hit it. Was that a good lead from Sharapova?
I think it probably was, yes.
Doesn't seem to have lost any of her strength.
No, I mean, that's really so good to see, because I really was fearful for her after that long match yesterday. 3 hours is no joke. And it was windy, so it's so much more trying on a competitor, on a player out there. Taxing of body and of mind.
No wonder he's biting his nails, Michael Joyce.
Very good player, Michael Joyce, on the tour. Probably a little bit like Sharapova, just a little erratic at times. Had talent there.
Well, that is a phenomenal angle. It had to be a winner, because without the slide into the shot, she's virtually running past the umpire's chair and round the other side of the net in trying to break. And Sharapova holds the start of the second set. How do you see this panning out from here, Fru? Do you think Justine's now got it by the scruff, or you can never underestimate? And she says herself, Sharapova, in the press, for all the talk about the clay, don't ever underestimate me, even on a clay court.
Well, I mean, even this shot, it just shows the improvement that there is. The fact that she learned, she went to play one in the last game and played an awful shot. And the chances were that running up, you know, so many players will miss a shot badly and play the next one and miss it as well, that she was going to miss that. No, the improvement was there, dramatic. So if her shots start coming in, and they can, and she's got that aggressive spirit, she can come back. I can't say that I expect her to, though, unless Henin tires. And if it goes into a third set, of course, she's got a very good shot at it. But will she take it to the third?
It's only her 8th or 9th event on clay in Rome. Pre-Roland Garros, where she made her first semi-final on clay. Sharapova beat Pierce, Bavina, Annabelle Medina Garrigues before losing to Paddy Schneider in the semis. First ace of the match.
Yeah, she only served 2 yesterday against Kuznetsova.
How often you see an ace double fault or the other way around? That's got to be in the mind, isn't it? Fabulous forehand. Justine herself says that she thinks her forehand's a better shot. When you look at the backhand at times, it's pretty scary. Roger Federer warming up on Chatrier against Victor Hanescu, surprise quarter-finalist from Romania. Yeah, forehand's much better. Stunning. That was enjoyed by everybody, including the nearest and dearest.
Yes, this is Henne at her very best. Really. Not a lot that Sharapova can do against this sort of power. And she's pint-sized in comparison.
Yes. Yeah.
But my goodness, she's a good timer of the ball.
5 feet 5 3/4, 1.67 meters.
Yes, don't forget the 3/4.
Yeah. That's in bold in the book.
Oops.
Well, miss it again. But you'd never see Sharapova trip like that on a hard court or a grass court.
Yeah, she knew it was in. It was head down. She wasn't bothering to look at where the ball was landing.
It was a 3/4 ace, wasn't it, Fru?
Yeah.
Points you've been making from the start of the match, pretty much.
Yes, good control. Not too hard. Just gets quite a bit of curve on it. See where it finishes up.
Two minds?
Yes, it was certainly going in, but of course she was hoping really that the return would not be as deep, and then was looking, caught in two minds whether to volley or drive volley. She's a bit at sea.
Be huge for Justine to get a break here. Really keep momentum building. Again, gets reward for serving to the backhand. As good as it is.
Well, she's determined to take it on. Practicing the shot after the missed return. This was part of her problem yesterday. She would play some stunning stuff and then suddenly just go into one lapse after another. Saved 2 match points against Kuznetsova.
There's a few people laughing at the different sounding grunt now. She's trying it all out here. That's brought amusement to the crowd.
I wonder if she's got an endorsement for the silencer. Maybe Midas or somebody, you know. Quick fit.
Must say something about the mood, the change in the sound.
She was always going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
It's heartening, it must be for, it certainly is for me, that Wimbledon champions have got shortcomings, have got comparative weaknesses.
She's not quite sure how to take on the Belgium at the moment. Break point. Yeah, you could sense it. That's a big double. It is a set and a break now for the champion of 2003. 2-1 second set. For Sharapova fans, the next 10-15 minutes, crucial. As Fru McMillan has been saying, she's all at sea at the moment against Justine Henin-Ardenne, and the waters have got a little more choppy for the Russian number one. It's a set and a break now for the Belgian number one. 2-1 second set. That's A1 on the grid, I think.
It must be so disheartening for Sharapova, because she's put everything into the backhand return. Then she's played a pretty fine angle, only to have that struck by her. And she just unleashes. No wonder she's further unsettled.
Yeah.
The last 4 Henin service games, she's lost 4 points, 2 of which have been doubles. So only crumbs for Sharapova at the moment.
First love game of the match, I believe. Extends the lead. But at the moment, it's difficult to imagine Sharapova coming back here. On a hard court, I think you'd still be all eyes.
Yes, we know the resistance she can put up, but she's not just as equipped to come back in a match like this on clay as she is on a hard court. It's nowhere near as straightforward here.
It's always such a special tournament here for Justine as well. As a very young girl, she sat in the crowd with her mother, Françoise, watching the tennis, and said that she'd come here and win the tournament with her watching in the stands one day. And very sadly, her mother was lost to cancer. And after the match yesterday, the win against Kuznetsova offered a prayer skyward. And she says it really is a great motivator. This tournament forever will be special every time she plays it.
Yes, we tend to think of Wimbledon as sort of the icon and the halcyon of tennis. It is for most players, but there are many who regard this, the French, as theirs, the clay quarters of this world particularly.
There's a sort of an applause from Michael Joyce, but with his head down. Not a lot of confidence in it. Got to stay in touch here, though. This is a huge game.
Yes, those long legs just not equipped to fall in harmony with the arms. No timing in the shot, a little cramped. A lot of it, of course, as a result of Henin keeping up that intense pressure. Hit hard, hit deep.
Well, when she really does go for that backhand, that extra pace, hitting it flatter, there's sort of a whoosh from the crowd as well.
Yes, it came through at the right height for her, didn't it? She played the high bouncing one well, and just waited for the short mid-court one, which kept a little lower, about hip height, and then shot from the hip.
Break point, and it could be the breaking point for Sharapova. Yeah, Double break. It's 4-1 the lead now. She's accelerating in an inspired fashion towards a win here in the quarterfinal. A Belgian wave, we better call that. 2 games away from her 3rd semi-final here, Justine Henin-Arden. Be her 9th in a major. Of course, 3 slams to her credit. The French here in 03, the US the same year, and the Australian 2004, joining an elite list of 9 women to hold 3 majors at once. And they copied the French as well. They're only prepared to stop the wave when they're good and ready. Still got a bit of momentum. And Justine's got plenty of that right now. 4-1 second set.
Well, what's impressed me most is, apart from the very start of the match, when very often players are a little stiff, Henin's been able to just shake off yesterday's 3-hour marathon. In many ways, I suppose, it's the fact that you're playing somebody that has won a major. Therefore, the pressure is not quite as intense. And also, I think she quite enjoys the fact that she can wrap her around her finger, tie her up in knots. On a clay court, that is. Sharapova at the moment is in the Bois de Boulogne. She can't see Henin or the court for the trees. Well, you might have caught the little flex of the leg there by Henin. You can see it again there. That's the left leg, the forward leg for the right-handed server. Now, I think that's the after effects of yesterday. So Sharapova somehow, by some minor miracle, could take us into a 3rd.
Didn't even chase that one down, Sharapova. Knew she was beaten.
Yes, and it's amazing. I mean, she's almost more on the right side of the court. Her weight seemed to be on her right foot, and yet not able to mount a challenge or a response. Shot.
Not convinced, is she, Justine? Got her eyes on the mark. Christina Olausson of Denmark. Caught the line, conceded by Justine.
Well, a little bit of brilliance there by Sharapova. An unusual shot because she got the angle, just turned the racket head over the ball rather than that flat shot.
A lifeline, perhaps.
Great pity, because she just seemed to be feeling the ball a little better there, Sharapova, making a response that she hasn't looked like doing for some time. And then that two-handed backhand miss, a bad shot.
She's the sort of player that if she could get a break back, it would really lift her. And then who knows? On the line. Just a little look back to confirm that.
That's an amazing shot, isn't it? I mean, just have got the outside of the line too. Despairing effort by Sharapova. She'd never looked comfortable there moving forward.
It's terrific serve. She looks like she did after the first set against Conchita Martinez in the first round, that she won 6-love on the back of all the wins and 3 titles in a row coming in. Stretches the lead to 5-1, saves the 2 break points. Conchita made it very awkward in the end, and she finished the match very nervously, Justine, and not quite sure whether to attack or so on, which Conchita can do to anybody, of course. But in coming through that match yesterday, saved a set point in the breaker in the first set, saving the 2 match points. She almost looks released again through. Sharapova, new ball, serving to stay in the tournament.
Well, I think at 5-1 you can say, or I can say, that Henna has just outplayed her opponent. It's a case of serving harder, serving more accurately, hitting better ground strokes, hitting with more variety, having more clay court nous, clay court experience, where Sharapova has looked pretty stiff. And yet in many ways it should have been the other way with the long match that Henna played yesterday. Sharapova playing just 3 games. Even there. Pretty good drop shot. Henna just that little bit quicker, they're a little bit more agile. I wasn't going to say it at 4-1 break point or a possibility of Sharapova winning the Henna serve, but at 5-1 I think all those things can be said. And the smile perhaps tells the story. Three or 4 times perhaps, as they're just being, might even be a little reckless, a little careless, but goodness, when you're a set and 5-1 you can afford to be.
just fabulous.
It's not often that when Sharapova is playing somebody that all eyes are on her opponent, but it seems to me that that's the case here. She's just dictating so well, so dominant.
Well done, Maria Sharapova. It's a barrage that she's having to withstand here. She wins her first game in the last 5 played. But Justine, she's got 2 chances to serve out the match. Welcome back. That's a stunning picture. And a happy one if you're a Belgian. 1 hour and 24 minutes the match so far. Justine Henin-Arden serving for the match at a set and 5-2. That's wide. The Ring of Doom will be offered or not? Nope, can't see it. A mirage perhaps.
Certainly travelled like a mirage.
Yeah. Super start to the game for Sharapova. The timing of when she's used the drop and then the execution is perfection.
Yes, with Sharapova obviously looking to blast her way out of trouble here, and really that's her only chance. And then suddenly she gets this pancake which falls absolutely flat on the kitchen floor. Doesn't bounce at all for her.
Well, a Tuesday as well through. 2 points from it. And now just one. She's been unstoppable today, Justine Henin-Arden. Two match points. It's nice to finish with a flourish, but much better to get the job done. Yeah, what a battle.
Good to see that, isn't it?
Oh, fabulous.
That tells probably the real story. Dad's face.
It's long. She's through. It is her third semi-final here, the 9th in her career. Delight for the support camp. Disappointment for the second year running for Maria Sharapova. She's been put out in the quarterfinals of the French Open, but she gave it absolutely everything, as she always does, in every point, in every match. But Justine Henin-Arden, she was insatiable today, and quite frankly, Fru McMillan, too good.
Well, that's it, really. I mean, she played a marathon yesterday, and I had misgivings about this match today, providing Sharapova could push her. she wasn't at all. It was a 100-meter dash, really, for Hannah Harden. She lost 6 games to Sharapova in Berlin, and she's lost 6 games here. And that really is, in many ways, the measure of the difference between them on a clay court. On a hard court, Sharapova might come into her own a bit more, but Hannah is just all-round class. The Federer of the women's game.